let's get into it. Damn, we got the Guan Yu. I forgot Shadow Venom actually really favors this god. But we've gotten into a Cabrakan, and it is very interesting because Guan Yu does not have a jump to escape that ultimate, but he will be able to use his horsey if he if he uses it in time. If he uses it on reaction. However, it looks like Azstro is bullying out Shadow Venom in this early game here. Did Shadow Venom go a pot? He did not. So that would be the reason right there. Wait, what the fuck? He did? Why doesn't it show it on him? Usually it shows it. No, he didn't. So he just went. But wait, what the fuck? Oh, okay. I'm looking at the wrong guy. Okay, never mind. I see. So he didn't go a pot, so that makes sense for why he's getting bullied out. Red buff still went to Shadow Venom though because of Hog. No Hog on the side of Azstro is actually going to be quite rough here. Pot without Hog here is a little awkward. Because while he's giving himself a massive buff to his early game, he's also crippling his objective secure. So on these buffs, fighting into the Hog, he's gonna be, he's gonna find himself in a very rough position. Name, thank you so much for the 9 months, dude. Oops, I have to take off the text. Sorry about that. And for the sub goal, I believe we are 1 out of. I'm gonna go for. We go for 5. We go for 6. We go for 6. 1 for 6 for the day, thanks to Bleed. Unless names was a resub, I believe it was a subversary. Thank you so much, man. Can we get some baby rages in the chat for my man's 9-month baby sub? Thank you so much, dude. Yo, what's up, Maz? What's up, Greeny? How's everybody doing today? Look at Azstro, man, laying down the law. Cabrakan, such a strong pick in this tournament, in my opinion, especially because there are so little gods with jumps available. So he's going to be a force to be reckoned with for sure here. It would be quite an upset for Shadow Venom to go down here to Azstro. Azstro not highly ranked in the duel, in the duel rankings here. Oh, this might be a little too aggressive though. He's got to be careful. Shadow Venom might have been able to aggress there, but Azstro looking for something. I don't know if he's got nearly enough. He's at 490 HP. It's not as if he has a meditation or anything available, so he's really got to play back here. It's just that he doesn't want the red buff to go Shadow Venom's way, but he can't afford to give up First Blood to secure it, or to contest it, rather. So really his option here will have to be to let it go and clean up this creep wave as efficiently as possible and then back up. There he goes, very smart. Shadow Venom does take that down. Does he use the Hog in doing so? He does, just to ensure. Waits out the timer on that blue buff. Very well. Let's get that red buff. Making perfect use of the buff timers there. And now he goes straight back and picks up a Wingblade. Wingblade is going to be a huge asset throughout this tournament because it is allowed. It is not by no defense in this tournament. I specifically mean no protections. And there's also 4 warriors. There's a role of no frostbound and no crit. I believe that frostbound and crit coupled together will, with an auto attack build, be a little too strong for most. Oh, Shadow Venom with a great answer. Good. Wait, no. The wall was mispositioned. If positioned appropriately, that could have been beautiful. I think Azstro might have changed his direction of it for the last second there, or he expected Shadow Venom to come around the other way. It looked like he meant to place that wall to the right, and it would have blocked off Shadow Venom's path there. Aw, man. That's unfortunate. Damn, I'm sorry, Cells. That sucks, dude. That's the direct one. Every variant. So yeah, had he ulted to the right there, man, would have been a fantastic ult, and it was really good presence of mind. It just seemed like a mechanical flub there, unfortunately. You hate to see that happen when he had the right idea, but it just went wrong due to an input error there. So Azstro finds himself in a really rough position now. The one thing that he has over Shadow Venom here is that he's got a lot more damage online right now. So his one-shot potential could be quite strong. But Shadow Venom with that Wing Blade is definitely a force to be reckoned with here. He's not going to go... wait, what slows does Azstro have? Does he actually have a slow? I don't think he does, right? Not his 3 doesn't slow. I was thinking that it did. Actually, so he doesn't have a slow in the entirety of his kit. Shadow Venom just going into the Wing Blade here for the health, which is very smart because and for of course the other benefits as well, the movement speed, crowd control reduction, so many things here that will benefit him greatly. Especially the crowd control reduction is huge. Ooh, Azstro, will this work out? He's got to get the stun. No, doesn't get it, man. That's so unfortunate. Actually, I really thought that wall, unfortunately, what happened there was the wall was placed so that it did damage, but it did not apply the stun. Shadow Venom was a little too far up. It needed to, the wall needed to be positioned on him instead of just around him in order to get the stun off as well. So very unfortunate. Wait, what the fuck? He never stuns with the wall? What the fuck? Dude, the wall stuns. I've gotten hit with it before and it's stunned. Hello? Anyone? The fuck? Someone help. That wall stuns, dude. I've seen it stun before. If you get trapped in it, you get stunned. What the fuck? If that wall doesn't stun, this character sucks dicks. Alright, I'm confused. I don't understand anymore. I don't know why I'm casting this tournament. The fuck? Fuck with anyone? Oh, nice friendly taunting going on between the players here. I don't know if Shadow Venoms was so much friendly more than it is to try to bait Azstro out here. Can't really tell in this situation, but Azstro always a good guy best. Just having fun with him. A lot of damage coming out from the Guan Yu here. This is going to be very rough. Wow, a nice Sunder and a great use of the ultimate here. Can Azstro actually get anything off though? No. That stun is so long right now from that horse, man. That's rough. Without a beads online for Azstro here, you know, he's struggling to keep up in level. Had he been level 12 here and gotten his second active, he would have been able to turn that fight. But without a beads available, there was no way. Or a sprint available. Sprint would help a lot too. But of course he's slow immune during his 1, which helps him a lot with escaping the horse. But I believe the 1 was used aggressively there, so the counter engage from Shadow Venom was too strong. He would either have to save his 1 for each time that Shadow Venom goes into that ultimate, which would be, you know, a huge blow to Cabrakan's overall burst and initiate setup. Or, oh wow, Shadow Venom very cleverly backing up right as that 2 came out there. Didn't do it on reaction, instead just anticipated it brilliantly. Why Sunder against Guan? Yeah, that's the issue here, is that Sunder was definitely not the choice in that you don't build protections in this tournament ruling, right? There's actually no protections being built by the enemy, so it is shredding his natural protections. And then there's also the fact, though, that Guan steals protections. So there is that. So that, to be honest, I guess it could be, you know, it could be reasonable given that Guan specifically steals protections here, but I still don't feel it's nearly as strong as something like a sprint here, which would have helped him with survivability and counter engage, as well as the, oh, he does save his 1 here for the slow, but just so much damage coming out. Ben Curran, thank you so much for the sub, my man. Wow, he actually gets out there brilliantly. Very nice by Azstro to save his 1. Like I said, I'm always impressed by Best's level of play, despite not focusing so much on Smite's, you know, more competitive level of play. He doesn't even like watch the SPL much or anything, so you know, he's just a very solid player in all aspects. Shadow Venom, of course, though, very well versed in both Smite competitively and a you know, as the former or current still coach of Torpedo? Who? I don't remember. Can we get some more hype in chat for Ben, you guys? Please. Ben with the first sub ever. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, Ben. You're a fucking beast. I love you. So let's talk about builds real quick here. Guan just opting into the only option that he has here, right? Which is full damage after the Wing Blade is established here. So I like that Wing Blade early pickup so that he ensures that he can't get bursted down too quickly. In this matchup for the early game, while Cabrakan really has that burst over Guan. So it was very intelligent of him to pick it up when he did. And it really stopped Cabrakan's overall potential to come back into this game as well. His damage just not being enough to take out this Guan Yu, who is both stealing protections and... Oh, Sunder did not come out there, so not going to be enough. Regardless, it seemed like Shadow Venom had the better of that engage there. We've got Stone Cutting coming out for his 6th item slot here. Of course, not his last item because he will be selling the Bluestone. But regardless, a very smart pickup. Look at the attack speed right now through that Wing Blade. That's crazy, dude. That's actually so much. All right. Takes out the... Oh, it's just going to be off the mark. That speed on the horse is just too much, especially coupled with that Wing Blade giving him the extra movement speed, as well as the... does this... Yeah, plus 8%. I forgot if it was on the tier 2 or not, and it is. So plus 8% also from that. So there was just no way that wall was going to connect in time, unfortunately, for Azstro. Like I said, though, Azstro putting up a good fight despite how far down he is. So you gotta give it up for this man, not giving in, and definitely just still trying to play his game. Wow, it's actually not a Stone Cutting. It turns into a Mass Immune, which deals additional physical power damage against gods with more maximum health than you. Now, that is very smart because, let me see, let's look at it. Alright, well, I'm going to say that it would be smart because you would think a Guardian would have more health than Shadow Venom. I'm sure his healing actually does scale better than Shadow Venom's. Oh, is this chase going to come into... Yep, there it is. This could be the game. Respawn timer 15 seconds. It might not be enough, but he does have Hog available. He's actually dashing back, so he's not going to aggress onto the Titan here. So yeah, definitely not game yet. Obviously, Azstro coming back up. So yeah, the Mass Immune here would be a very wise pickup had Azstro been higher level right now, because his health will scale to more than Shadow Venom's, but right now it's actually lower because of how far behind Azstro is, ironically. So he did pick up the Ethereal Staff, and he's got a lot of a lot of health online, but he's just so low level here that it's not giving the full benefit of that Mass Immune passive. Or it's actually not giving any of the passive, right? It's equal to 1 power for every 10 health difference. So only if they have more health than you. So that's pretty awkward, right? He's actually not getting any passive off of this item simply because of the difference in lead. But I'm sure Shadow Venom is not not displeased with his pickup regardless, because he's got enough power and movement speed now to outrun the Cabrakan in all of these situations and deal tremendous amounts of damage. Coupled with his Transcendence and Jotun's here, he's just a powerhouse at this point that Cabrakan, while behind, can't seem to deal with. Now this is a big this is a big note to the style that this tournament is taking. Best looking around here. Not sure what he's doing. Yeah, he was just trying to catch Lazy back here, and unfortunately couldn't find Shadow Venom. Did not go the way that he had hoped. Yeah, so a big note to the style of this tournament in general. Without defense, this is going to come down so much to the early snowball. So I think building a pot or building a hog is so instrumental in play style of this tournament specifically. Without protections, it's going to be a story of who can get the most burst online the quickest. In terms of just a general sense of how it's going to go. Matchups are always going to be extremely relevant, and ooh, big damage from Azstro, but the dash is good from Shadow Venom. He actually gets out in time. Ah, man, Astro's actually really putting on the hurt here. Shadow Venom not able to siege this Phoenix, not able to actually hit it even once because of some nice body blocks from Azstro. Very well played. So now, yeah, I want to talk about Runeforge here. Very, very strange, actually, because he... Alright, so it's giving him extra health, and I think that's the main reason he's building into it here. Only give him a little bit of physical power, but his abilities now deal an additional 15% of physical power as magical damage against enemies, and 30% of your physical power as magical damage against slowed, rooted, or crippled enemies. So I guess he's relying on the fact that he's got the slow here, and it's also because he doesn't have... you know, too much else to build into. I still think a Titan's Bane would be a much better choice than this. However, he is slowing quite often with that 2 of his, unless I'm completely wrong again, and the 2 does not slow. See, the 2 slows. So, I mean, for 2-second duration on that 2, wow, look at the burst. He just cannot tank that Phoenix right now because of the fact that you can't build into protections here. And that's, you know, that's a big note to future games in this tournament as well, that you got to recognize that you're not as tanky as you would be by any means against that Phoenix. There is no physical protections on your side, even from stone cutting. I think this is where stone cutting could have come in much better handy. Building those passive protections against the structures would be so helpful for Shadow Venom here, even though he wouldn't be building into protections of the physical nature. Look at this, the big words coming out. In a physical realm, against this particular god, it would certainly help out with seizing the Phoenix in this position with the stone cutting specifically. Sorry, my casting is so awkward at this point, I promise it. Oh my god, look at that burst! Azstro really laying on the hurt there. And I'm so surprised to see a Weakening Curse come out as Shadow Venom's second active instead of something like a Meditation with the amount of health he's built into, or a or simply a Beads for the amount of stuns that Azstro has on his side. This is very questionable, and it's going to lead to Astro's ability to come back into this game right here. You got to consider that the Weakening, one, is not you know, countering any healing on the Cabrakan side, so that's already moot. And then secondly, there is a slow immunity on Astro's side, as well as he can pick up a Wing Blade here and do a lot against that. Although, of course, the 2 slows on Shadow Venom are going to take care of that Wing Blade pretty quickly, it's still going to help out a lot and give him some movement speed. So, I don't know. I think this curse could possibly be what loses Shadow Venom the game if a comeback could be made here. Really nice ultimate here because he knows Astro's going to root himself, going to get the entire duration of this off, but a nice Beads by Azstro. Holy crap, Shadow Venom surrenders! No, I think he realizes that this late into the game, Cabrakan burst, coupled with the fact that he misbuilt on that second active, just was not enough. Wow. Yeah, exactly. Shadow Venom, it's very true, does play, does most notably play for fun here. And damn, dude, that that was a crazy showing from Azstro. The ability to come back there, like I said, he just stayed in there and kept playing his game. Shadow Venom, like I said, built into some questionable picks there with the Runeforge and with the Weakening, and I think it really just solidified the comeback potential for Azstro. And of course, the late game for Cabrakan, one of the strongest out of any Guardian, if not the strongest. The amount of bursts that he's able to put out without any defensive actives on the side of Shadow Venom, and without any defense being able to be built, magical protections against him, just spelt disaster for that late game if Shadow Venom wasn't able to secure the game earlier. That Titan was at about a quarter health, and Shadow Venom could not seal that game out. That's really unfortunate. But as Shadow Venom says, you know, he's a great, always a great sport, always looking to just, you know, more than anything, have fun in these tournaments. Usually never picks, you know, the absolute best gods available in these. And I got to see Guan Yu's placement on the tier list here is actually in C. So with an A- and below tournament, you know, that's a questionable pick. But you got to also consider that that's usually based on that god's play against all of the higher tiers. Some of the tiers, like some of the gods, can actually fight better against each other than you would imagine, just based on the tiers alone. Like I'm trying to look for an example here. like I could totally see a Guan, and also the rules of this tournament definitely change a lot of this meta as well, right? So you got to consider that everything is kind of flipped on its head in this position, right? Certain gods will be much stronger than they usually are. Like Ymir, in my opinion, in this tournament could be a monster because no magical protection can be built against the big boy. Without a Frostbound available, he's going to be he's going to be a powerhouse. It's going to be very hard to stop him. So yeah, a lot of things are just completely turned around in this tournament, and players will have to, you know, quickly adapt to a different sort of meta here. So that's you know, that's the fun of a lot of these bi-weekly tournaments that we're running here. I really enjoy seeing players adapt and, you know, strategize accordingly. So we saw Azstro there pick up the Cabrakan, recognize to get that early burst down and play it safe and play it you know, really just by the book. Once Shadow Venom had the lead, did not overextend too much. You know, Shadow Venom was able to really push the lead to its limits, but not able to secure the win there. So really nice play by both players, but the superior strategy and the superior pick ended up winning there with Azstro's pick on the Cabrakan. I think overall a much more solid pick, of course, towards both the regular Joust meta or duel meta and certainly the meta for this tournament.